Newton County residents start the recovery process after severe storms come through the area. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
Plus, we take you to a Joplin ceremony honoring those who've given the gift of life.
Cardinals continue to mourn for Pope Francis while they plan for the conclave to choose his replacement. I'm Lauren Green at the Vatican. I'll have the details coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Power lines are down, waterways are up, and some roofs are gone. A number of communities are dealing with damage from wind, hail, and flooding. And more severe weather could be on the way. This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach, and we'll have more on the damage in a moment. But first, let's go straight to Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty with a first look at the forecast.
Yeah, another wild, severe weather day for us again today, and we've had several of these in the month of April, and we haven't even gotten into May yet. But look at the storm reports. So in the orange, these are all wind reports. You can see one tornado near Monette. I wouldn't be surprised if a tornado report pops up near Neosho over the next day. And then you have the extensive hail reports. We had golf ball size hail roll right through Webb City and also into Oronogo. So a pretty big severe weather day. And then here's where our potential tornado tracked, which I do think it will be logged as a tornado. On top of that, very heavy amounts of rain. There's some pockets of 3, 4, 5, 6 inches, at least an inch, just about everywhere. Flood watches in effect due to more heavy rain working in. Look at this, showers, thunderstorms increasing once you get out across east central Oklahoma. See these bigger guys near Tulsa. These are going to pack a little bit of a punch. So we're going to talk more about that here in a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, residents in Newton County, Missouri are already starting recovery efforts following this morning's storms. Across the area, there are fallen power lines, uprooted trees, and downed limbs. Homes and businesses are also impacted, with many roofs damaged and sheds and barns torn apart. KOAM Samantha Walker takes us there.
Jill Bowman says she wasn't home when severe storms began to roll through Newton County.
I was working at Crowder College, and the lights started flickering and we lost power, and everybody went to the storm shelter, and we knew something was going on.
Around her work saw damage, but it wasn't until she got home that she would know if her house had been impacted.
The whole barn is gone. I mean, obviously the roof, it peeled everything back, blew it out. The rest is limbs, branches, that kind of thing. But our whole front yard, which of course we've been working on cleaning, was covered in all this debris.
She says she's lucky though. Her home was left nearly untouched, but neighbors nearby saw damage to their houses and roofs.
Our efforts were, first of all, making sure that everybody was okay, if anybody needed our assistance that way. And then second of all, those down power lines, trying to protect those to make sure people were safe.
Sheriff Matt Stewart says the department received reports of a few people trapped in their homes, but they were able to help get everyone out okay. He says at this time they're only aware of one person who received minor injuries, who was then transported to a nearby hospital.
Our neighbors seem to be okay. They keep saying the same thing. Lots of trees, lots of debris.
Now right here is a piece of sheet metal that came off her barn. She said some of these pieces went as deep as 18 inches into the ground, showing just how strong these storms were.
It could have been a whole lot worse. When you see sheet metal impale into the ground 18 inches deep, you think, oh my gosh, what would that have done to someone or, something.
Sheriff Stewart wants community members to keep safety in mind as they begin the recovery process, being mindful of downed power lines and debris.
The next thing to watch out for are those sharp objects that could be laying around in the yard and everything. Just be careful as they're moving around.
Bowman and her family, like many of those impacted, have already started the recovery process. She says neighbors and friends are offering to help in whatever way they can.
When I was leaving school, everybody said, hey, we have chainsaws, call us if you need anything. And it was just, I was inundated. So very blessed.
Reporting in Newton County, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
The Neosho Fire Department received 28 calls for service during the first 3 hours following the storm. The NFD responded with 22 personnel, alongside 4 from the Seneca Fire Protection District and 8 from the Joplin Fire Department. Well, storm damage in Miami left trees, power lines, and power poles down across the city. The front door and window of the Shoe Sensation store are both damaged from the weather event. Crews are working to clear debris and restore power. Residents are urged to use caution around damaged areas until the cleanup is complete. Well, severe flooding caused major issues in Pittsburgh this morning, stranding motorists and uprooting trees. One tree fell on a home as heavy rain swept through the area. First responders worked to assist drivers and address damage across the city. Well, despite the storms, Pittsburgh's wastewater treatment plant is back to normal operations. The city of Pittsburgh notified the Kansas Department of Health and Environment that a failed inlet pipe has now been replaced. We reported last week the plant had experienced operational problems due to an underground pipe failure. That failure led to concerns about elevated levels of E. coli in Cow Creek. Well, coming up, a look inside a fentanyl lab.
It's National Fentanyl Awareness Day. I'm David Spunt in Northern Virginia. I just toured a DEA lab with Attorney General Pam Bondi. We'll show you how she's marking this somber and important day. Next.
And later, the damage from severe weather extends further into southwest Missouri. We take you to Monette, where the strong winds took out an entire storage unit facility. Drug overdoses continue to be the leading cause of death among Americans ages 18 to 44. Powerful fentanyl often preys on unsuspecting victims. Often a pill may appear as a pharmaceutical painkiller or another prescription drug, but instead it's cut with the deadly drug and other illicit drugs. In this Fox exclusive, David Spunt shows us how Attorney General Pam Bondi is marking National Fentanyl Awareness Day.
And that's how easy it is to start the addiction.
And that's how easy it is to kill Americans and kids.
I joined Attorney General Pam Bondi as she toured the DEA lab in Northern Virginia on National Fentanyl Awareness Day.
Seeing that pill press should frighten every American. I am terrified after seeing it because it shows how fast you can manufacture and make these pills.
Fentanyl is a highly potent synthetic opioid. Even just 2 milligrams can be deadly. This looks like a grain of sand or salt. This much fentanyl alone can kill someone. The Attorney General learned about fentanyl identification.
We like to do this test. One of these is an official Mallinckrodt oxycodone tablet. The other one contains fentanyl. Would you be able to tell the difference between the two? Would it be...
They're identical. You cannot tell the difference between an oxycodone pill and a pill that's laced with fentanyl. Same with Adderall, same with Xanax, same with Tylenol.
According to the DEA, fentanyl remains the greatest drug threat to the United States. In 2023, more than 105,000 people died from drug poisonings, nearly 70% linked to synthetic opioids like fentanyl.
I have a stomachache over this, seeing what we've seen.
DOJ officials say since the beginning of this year, they've recovered enough fentanyl to kill more than 100 million people. In Northern Virginia, David Spunt, Fox News.
Well, April is Donate Life Month, and tonight a group of medical organizations joined forces to honor those who've given the gift of life. The dinner celebration started with a prayer and a donor memorial presentation. There are more than 100,000 men, women, and children on the national transplant waiting list. According to OrganDonor.gov, every day 17 people die waiting for an organ transplant. Tonight's event celebrated the lives of loved ones who chose to make a difference.
You know, letting all the healthcare workers know that, we appreciated them. I think when the time was happening, I was so numb that I really didn't get the chance to appreciate, everybody that was involved in making, it happen. So just thanking everybody that was there for me and supported and made the process go much smoother.
Mercy Hospital played host for tonight's dinner celebration, while Freeman Health System, Saving Sight, and Midwest Transplant Network also joined the ceremony. Frank Fletcher Subaru donated more than $30,000 to the Ronald McDonald House Charities of the 4 states during a check presentation today. The donation comes from the 2024 Subaru Share the Love event, which allows customers to direct contributions with each vehicle purchase.
It's the highest purpose we have as human beings, is to give back to others in need. And we have the opportunity to do that every month and then once a year in a big check. But just being able to do that every day, it's the reason you should be waking up. It's exciting for us.
The Joplin dealership also added funds through employee donations, bringing their 11-year total to more than $200,000. Well, Doug is next with a complete look at your forecast. And later, the first 100 days.
Capitol Hill is weighing in on President Trump's first 100 days, and the reviews are decidedly mixed. I'm Caroline Shively in Washington. I'll have that story straight ahead.
Well, of course, showers, thunderstorms for us today. Severe weather across the region during the morning hours. But this evening, most of the severe weather is back to our south and to our west, near Oklahoma City, southern parts of Oklahoma, into northern parts of Texas. It may creep a little closer to us later on tonight, but I think most of our storms will behave across the entire four-state area. But we've had showers and thunderstorms increasing over the past several hours after our big batch that rotated right on through during the morning hours. But you can see the heavier bands. So where you see the yellows and the oranges, that is at least moderate rain. So starting to pick up on the Missouri and Arkansas side, but showers and thunderstorms ongoing in Kansas and also parts of Oklahoma. Pretty good little thunderstorm just north of Independence. So we are getting some decent ones out there. Kind of lighter showers in Neosho over toward Grand Lake, and then it picks up again Veneta toward Nowata. You can really see the lightning picks up once you get down toward Tulsa. So some of these stronger storms are going to drift in to our southern counties. But again, I think they will behave and stay below that severe limit. But the bigger storms down to the south of Oklahoma City. Looking outside, the roads are wet. So be careful if you are going to be out. Nice shot, Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex Tower Cam. Look at those rain chances shooting up tonight, shoot up tomorrow afternoon, just kind of up and down over the next couple days as we continue to get the rain, very heavy amounts across the region. Let's go through tonight. So here's in a couple hours, showers, thunderstorms continuing to press through, a little bit beefier along and south of I-44. So a little loud at times for us tonight. This is all going to start to work out by morning. Here's 6:30 in the morning. Through the morning, kind of a lull. And then here we go again. Another band of showers and thunderstorms getting in by the noon hour into the afternoon. So definitely wet as we go into Wednesday afternoon. All right, day planner 60 to start, 65 by noon. Let's go with a high temp of 68 degrees as we get into the afternoon hours. Let's go into Wednesday night. It looks like temperatures into lower 60s. We'll start to see showers and thunderstorms increasing again. This is going to be by Thursday morning as our main upper level low rotates through and starts to push out of the region. So that means we'll start the day on Thursday with some showers and even a few thunderstorms and then working into central Missouri. Then there's actually another back wave that moves in Thursday night into Friday morning. So the rest of the week, really, we're going to be dodging showers and thunderstorms. How much rain could we get on top of what we've already seen north of I-44? Mainly an inch or less, but 1 to 5 inches along and south of I-44 as we go through the next several days. 68 tomorrow, 72 Thursday, 71 on Friday. We dry out and clear out just in time for the weekend, so we are going to have a nice weekend. Thunderstorms back in again the middle of next week.
The pop-up storms concern me a little on Friday for the weekend, though, so hopefully we'll have a good whole weekend.
It'll be mainly in the morning, so there you go.
There you go. All right, thanks, Doug. Well, tonight, much of Monette, Missouri is in recovery mode from this morning's powerful storms. Adam Woodbury talked to homeowners who are glad it wasn't worse.
It can be rebuilt. Nothing can't be replaced.
People in Monette surveying the damage and cleaning up after a powerful storm rolled through Tuesday morning.
I was at home in my shelter about 2 miles south of here. So, yeah, it was quite the storm. You could see the wind just swirl in different directions.
Ken Madison opened this storage unit on the west side of town about 3 years ago. What was once a brand new facility, now a pile of debris. He said he found out what happened about 10 minutes after the storm hit. Now he's here helping his renters recover what they can.
Yeah, some of the little personal stuff that they keep in there, they come and got. I'd called everybody and told them I'd help them get their stuff out, so they're here one at a time.
In other parts of town, the chainsaws are out cutting up trees that have fallen over. This one suspended by the power lines.
We had gotten a phone call from a friend saying there was a tornado coming. I checked radar scope on my phone. It showed the tornado in Neosho. And so we were preparing
to go to the shelter. And then the storm came.
Stephen Bergeron said much of the damage to his property happened before he even left to go to the storm shelter. The tree on top of his house isn't even his. It belongs to his neighbor.
By the time we got in the car to go, this had all happened. I was in the house, I heard a really loud bang, which must have been this, and a crack, which probably was that.
And as he and his neighbors wait for the power to come back on, the cleanup continues, but he's grateful that he and others are safe.
God was very gracious to us, and we were praying, and we got to the shelter okay, we got back okay, but we have this to deal with now, and it's a matter of time, that's all.
So far, there have not been any reports of injuries in Monette. Well, coming up, grocery bill promises.
We're 100 days into a new administration that promised to lower your grocery bill on day one. We're taking a look at the data, and we're going to tell you which items are going to keep that grocery bill high after the break.
Inflation remains a top issue for voters as the White House works to bring down prices across the board. But consumers are seeing a mixed bag when it comes to the groceries they're buying. Kelly Sabiri has more from a grocery store in Chicago.
Food inflation is a major issue that the president ran his campaign on, and he promised to lower prices on day one. Now it's day 100, and food inflation is at its highest rate within the last 2 years, with the metrics of food at home and food away up from last year. Let's start with the Bureau of Labor Statistics numbers for March. Their data shows the categories to see inflation decline were snacks by 0.2% and fruits and vegetables by 0.7%. On the other hand, inflation for meat, poultry, and fish is up about 3%. Now to the ingredient at the heart of the inflation discussion, eggs. A dozen Midwest large eggs hit a record high price of $8.58 back on February 25th. Prices cooled considerably to $3.77, and it's been that way for a couple of weeks. For some, it's a staple. For others, it's used in a variety of foods. But it seems for everyone we spoke to, they're still feeling the pinch.
It's meat and right now eggs. Eggs is crazy because they are too high.
Eggs been really bad. Milk. Burgers have gone up like $1 or $2, I believe.
The good news is that the price to get to the grocery store is down significantly. We're seeing a gallon of gas down 50 cents from last year. In Chicago, Kelly Saberi, Fox Business.
Well, two area schools team up for an educational opportunity. Today, Missouri Southern and Crowder College announced the 2+2 pathway for students pursuing a degree in agricultural business. The program allows students to complete 2 years at Crowder, followed by 2 years at Missouri Southern to earn a Bachelor of Science in Agriculture Business. Well, coming up a little later, Roper Kia continues its long-standing support for the Children's Center. We're going to tell you about their latest donation.
Automaker employs the
More than 240 young athletes took part in today's Southeast Special Olympics Kansas Youth Track and Field event in Pittsburgh. The competition began with the law enforcement, torch run at the Plaster Center.
Track and field is the event that they look forward to all year long. They each get to choose 3 events. They each get to show off all of their skills that they've been working on. But it's even better to meet all of these different people from all of these different schools and to have that sense of community inclusion and not just inclusion within the schools.
More than 20 schools participated with the help from more than 140 volunteers. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports coming your way. President Trump marks 100 days in office with praise from supporters and pushback from critics. We'll break down the impact ahead. And Cardinals gather at the Vatican to plan for the next pope as scandals and controversy shake the process.
You're watching the 4 States Most Watched News.
This is KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. President Trump's first 100 days has shook the status quo across the country and around the world with a daily drumbeat of policy moves and executive orders, pleasing some and infuriating others. Fox's Caroline Shively has more from Washington.
President Trump marking 100 days in office Tuesday.
We've done everything, or it's in the process of being done.
And while Democrats and Republicans agree it's one of the busiest starts to an administration in U.S. history, that's all they agree on.
In just 100 days, Mr. President, he has delivered to an incredible degree.
This guy has the lowest approval rating of any president in modern American history inside of 100 days. That's extraordinary.
Republicans point to the remarkable drop in illegal immigration under Trump.
The Trump administration has stopped illegal border crossings. Congressman Downing said it well, 99.9% success rate.
Democrats point to the cuts made by Elon Musk and Doge that have left thousands of former federal workers unemployed.
Our retirees don't deserve to be left destitute by a Social Security Administration decimated by Elon Musk.
Both sides of the aisle are spinning the effects of Trump's trade war.
Tariffs are basically a tax on American consumers and businesses.
But Trump's Treasury Secretary is betting that China blinks first.
They sell almost 5 times more goods to us than we sell to them. So the onus will be on them to take off these tariffs. They're unsustainable for them.
This has also been a record-breaking 100 days, with Trump signing more than 140 executive orders, far more than any other American president. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Well, the White House calls out Amazon after reports the company considered showing customers how tariffs affect prices. President Trump spoke with Amazon founder Jeff Bezos, who clarified the plan was never serious. As tariffs on Chinese imports continue to raise costs, the administration moves to ease taxes on some foreign auto parts used in American-made vehicles. The president plans to meet with CEOs on Wednesday to promote investment in U.S. economy. Canada's Liberal Party claims victory in a surprise election result driven in part by backlash to President Trump's tariffs and annexation remarks. Prime Minister Mark Carney vows to defend Canadian sovereignty, calling for unity in response to U.S. pressure. And Russian President Vladimir Putin rejects President Trump's call to extend a 3-day ceasefire in Ukraine to 30 days. The move comes as Russia threatens NATO countries with possible nuclear strikes. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says his country remains willing to work toward peace. And a controversial cardinal decides not to take part in the conclave as others plan for the secret meeting to elect a new leader of the Catholic Church. Lauren Green has the latest from the Vatican.
The cardinals met at the Vatican Tuesday for their 6th congregation as they plan the conclave that will elect the next pope. But the group lost at least one member, Angelo Becciu, the cardinal at the heart of the Vatican's financial scandal. He was convicted on multiple charges and renounced his privileges in 2023, but recently claimed he was still eligible to vote in the conclave. On Tuesday, he withdrew after being shown 2 letters from Pope Francis asking him not to participate.
All the dealings and questions that had surrounded this controversial investment disgraced him, making him a bit of a pariah among many cardinals.
And as the planning continues, no clear favorite has emerged yet, with most cardinals saying they're still evaluating each other.
There are no discussion points now, but everyone talks about what they think. We are getting to know each other because we don't know each other yet.
Meanwhile, cardinals gathered Monday night for the 3rd of 9 masses, marking the official mourning period for Pope Francis. Cardinal Baldassare Rina, the Vicar General of Rome, gave the homily, urging his colleagues to continue Francis's reforms.
People have recognized him as a universal shepherd, and Peter's boat needs this wide navigation that goes beyond borders.
Some other groups are also calling for the removal of other controversial cardinals, including Roger Mahoney, who allegedly protected priests who abused children while he was Archbishop of Los Angeles. In the Vatican, Lauren Green, Fox News.
Well, Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later, it's the original get-rich-quick scheme, digging for gold. And with prices sky high, we head to Arizona for our own treasure hunt.
Five Center for the Arts.
Well, of course, more showers, more thunderstorms for us today, and we had severe weather during the morning hours. All the severe weather now is down across central southern parts of Oklahoma. That's mainly where it's going to stay. Now, we are going to get some beefier storms in here later on tonight, but I think all the High winds, hail, tornadic activity stays to our south, but again, it could be a loud night. Periods of showers and thunderstorms for us all day long for us today. You can see a little beefier once you get just north of Tulsa, so some of these storms will start to press in over the next couple hours. But again, even if we get some strong storms, I think they'll stay below severe limits. All this action is lifting east, northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So this leading edge of heavier will start to shift in as we go through about the next hour or so. Let's track this. So these little showers moving up towards Stockton, Erie, Parsons, Fredonia, Independence, your rain will start to pick up a bit. Joplin, you got a shower right on the southwest side, but this big wall of moderate rain. Some rumbles of thunder getting into Cherokee County, also into Ottawa County, and then just outside of Delaware County, a little beefier, some bigger storms just to the north of Tulsa, but that's where all the severe weather is, and that's where it's going to stay for tonight. But the roads are wet, so be careful if you are going to be out tonight. Great shot, Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex Tower Cam. Look at our rains kind of spiking up, down, over the next 36 hours. What this means to you is we're going to have periods of showers and thunderstorms working through. Here in a couple hours, heavier rains continue to work in south of I-44. Some of those storms may be a little bit stronger, maybe some very small hail, but that should be about it. This bigger batch works out during the morning hours, and then it builds back in once we get to about the noon hour. Showers, thunderstorms, non-severe, pushing through, again a little beefier, mainly south of I-44. Here's 4 p.m. So definitely the afternoon is going to be rainy. Temperatures into the 60s. We'll shoot for a high temp before that batch rolls in early afternoon, right around 68 degrees. All right, tomorrow night, some additional scattered thunderstorms work across the region. So here is Thursday morning, kind of hit and miss, not as widespread on Thursday, but you can see little thunderstorms popping up on the backside of the storm system. Then we have actually another wave that swings through late Thursday night into Friday morning, giving us again some better chances for rain. Additional rainfall, most of us 1/2 inch to 1 inch north of I-44. I-44 and south 1 to upwards of 5 additional inches of rain. That's why we have the flooding threat across the area. Let's go 68 on your Wednesday, 72 on Thursday, 71 Friday. We do dry out, get sunshine back as we head into the weekend, which is good news.
All right. Well, I mean, a nice looking weekend. We can be thankful for that.
Yeah, it looks great.
All right. Thanks, Doug. Well, Roper Kia hosts its annual check presentation for the Children's Center. The donation, part of Child Abuse Awareness Month, marks over a decade of partnership between the two organizations. Roper Kia owner Jack Frost says his dealership is committed to supporting the center's critical work.
And we've supported them for over 10 years now. And this being April being Child Abuse Awareness Month, we wanted to help them out. They do a very, very important service here in town for us and all over the area. And we're just happy to be here to be able to help support them.
Frost says a portion of every vehicle sold was set aside to help make today's $3,500 donation to the Children's Center possible. Well, coming up in sports, 7 Gorillas and 5 Lions receive all conference honors from the MIAA. Plus, 3 Frontenac Raiders signed letters of intent to play their sport at the next level. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
Royals play here. Select games on the KOAM and Fox 4.
Gold prices are sky high. So what are your prospects of becoming a prospector? Fox's Steve Nielsen went digging for answers and has more.
It's the original get-rich-quick scheme, gold. And with prices through the roof, you're going to start seeing a lot more people searching for treasure.
Yeah, there you go.
This prospector's trying to dig up one of the rarest, most precious, and now most expensive rocks you can find.
I don't know if you'll find $1 million worth of gold, but you can find some pretty nice pieces out here.
According to Raw, you can find gold just about anywhere in Arizona, but you gotta know where to look.
It's laying all over. The only hard part's finding it in concentration.
Today, we went on the hunt with Raw to an undisclosed spot in the San Domingo area, just outside Morristown.
Let's stop right here. You're looking for dark gravels. You got to distinguish between dark and wet.
Ra runs Pay Streak gold panning and prospecting adventures.
It's nice to have gold, but it's the search that is really most satisfying.
With gold through the roof at well over $3,000 an ounce, Ra says some people are coming out looking to strike it rich.
I had a fella tell me, well, I want to go out and dig for gold. And I go, okay, well, I'll show you what we do to go. And well, I don't want to become a gold prospector. I just want to go out and find a bunch of gold and be done with it. And I go, okay, yeah.
In between digging.
Oh, yeah, that looks pretty fair down in there.
And sifting, he whips out a metal detector. Didn't find anything this time, but let's head out to pan through our dirt. Now, like an 1800s prospector, we sift through it and see what we found.
I wouldn't get too excited. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors there.
Oh, yeah.
Any little speck of gold.
How much is that worth right there?
About $1.50 or $2 right there.
We might have to hold off retirement. For Ra, he packs it up and heads back out to teach his prospecting ways to more gold hunting hopefuls. Whether they strike gold or not, he says the adventure is the real treasure. Unless you find a lot of gold.
Well, up next, we get a first look at Netflix To Do 'Em 2025 and a Minecraft movie sing-along version. That's coming up in Hollywood Nation. The 2025 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees are announced, and so has a special sing-along and meme-along version of a current blockbuster. Those stories and more in today's Hollywood Nation with Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
Are you with me? A celebration for Netflix fans, a new rock class, and a Minecraft sing-along are in today's Hollywood Nation.
Atta boy!
A Minecraft movie is getting musical. The hit blockbuster is currently in theaters and has topped $816 million worldwide. Now audiences are being invited back to enjoy the movie in a new way with a Minecraft movie Block Party Edition. The new theatrical experience is all about singing and memeing along with the movie. Tickets are on sale now. Fans across North America and in select international markets can join in starting May 2nd.
Cindy!
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees have been announced. The group includes Cyndi Lauper, Outkast, The White Stripes, Soundgarden, plus first-time nominees Chubby Checker, Joe Cocker, and Bad Company. The ceremony takes place this fall. And today's First Looks is a preview of Netflix To Doom 2025, the live event. The streamer's global fan event is named after the iconic sound which plays at the start of all Netflix programming. To Doom 2025 will feature stars from Happy Gilmore 2, Wednesday, Squid Game, Stranger Things, and many more. It streams live on Netflix May 31st from the Kia Forum in Los Angeles. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thank you for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of penguins training for snacks at the Melbourne Zoo in Australia. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.